Hello everyone, welcome. Today I have for you this beautiful monogram letter glass ornament. So beautiful, so colorful, so easy to make. Let's look at the materials that you will need to create this ornament. I got these 6-inch iridescent glass balls at Hobby Lobby. They come 4 in a box. Everything now is 50% off in the Christmas department. I have here a beautiful ornament hanger, and I think this is especially nice idea if you're giving these as a gift, which, by the way, fabulous idea for coworkers, friends, neighbors, anyone special in your life, to give them an ornament with the monogram letter on it. I blinged out my snowflake a little bit there with those little gems that I picked up at Dollar Tree. Also from Dollar Tree, I got this faux snow. I love their faux snow. It's very small flakes, which I prefer anytime I use snow on a project. I have a funnel there, but you could just as easily roll up a piece of paper in a cone shape just to dump that snow in the bottom of the ornament. I have there a blingy monogram letter that I purchased at the paper studio at Hobby Lobby. Often, every other week, they usually have their items in that department on sale for, I believe, 50% off. And I have a collection of ribbons here, all of which are from Hobby Lobby, because I absolutely love their ribbons, and they're 50% off. I got an assortment of patterns. This bow looks especially beautiful with mixed pattern ribbons. You could see there I chose a variety of different prints. That one is striped as well as polka dot. And that's a little polka dot one. You'll see each of these ribbons as I put the bow together. I have 6 different ribbons. And I have some craft wire there that I purchased at Dollar Tree, some scissors, and a hot glue gun. And there you have the items that you will need to create this gorgeous ornament. There's those little gems that I picked up at Dollar Tree. Now, to place these little gems on this little snowflake ornament hanger, I just used a tacky glue. And I placed them each in the points of the snowflake and then one right in the center. I think that's just such a great idea to include an ornament hanger along with the ornament if you're giving this as a gift. So I just use, now I'm actually using my little glue dispenser there. You see, you all that are my subscribers or view my channel know that I love this little glue dispenser. I use it for quilling, but also for many other things. If you find it easier, you can use craft tweezers to place those little gems around, but it just gives it a little extra bling to go with the little bit of bling on the letter. Now, these ornaments are thin glass, but just absolutely beautiful. They do have some plastic ornaments at Dollar Tree. I believe they're comparable in size. Again, this ornament is 6 inches. I think if you're going to make an ornament like this, it's preferable to use a nice sized ornament. Now, I'm going to be putting some fake snow in the bottom of that ornament, but there are many other options as well. You could use little tiny pearls. Hobby Lobby has a filler, a little, they're like, I want to say like little pea-sized little kind of beads. And they're glittery. They come in silver and gold, red and green. They're in the department with the craft items for Christmas. That would also be a nice something to put in the bottom of the ornament. Now you don't want a lot. I want to say maybe a quarter full, because you don't want to have whatever you put in the bottom of your ornament interfering, if you will, with the monogram letter. I'll explain more what I mean by that in a little bit. Now, as I mentioned, all of these gorgeous ribbons I purchased at Hobby Lobby, but I'm sure that Dollar Tree has some thinner ribbons as well. Now, most of these are like 3/8 inch or 1/2 inch ribbons. Now, I took a little piece of iridescent ribbon there. I like to cover my caps on my ornaments. When I give ornaments as gifts especially, I like to have every aspect possible of the ornament trimmed in some kind of fashion. So I like to cover the cap, and I did so with that little iridescent white ribbon. Now I'm going to start constructing this completely fabulous bow, and I want lots of tails on each of my bows that I create, because this is going to be embellishing the sides of the ornament. I want to say 4 to 5 inches for the tail, and for the bow loops around 4.5 inches. And I'm just going to be creating some bows, 2-loop bows on each side, or 4 loops altogether. And I use my pinch fold over method here, pinching it in the middle with my thumb and my index finger. And you all, as I was making this ornament, they were outside paving the roads. So I was so irritated by the sound of the trucks outside. Not much I could do about it, although I wanted to go out and tell everyone that there's important work going on in here. I'm making an ornament, but I couldn't do that. So I had to kind of deal with that truck noise outside. So sorry about that. Okay, so I'm continuing on with my ribbons and making a series of small bows. Now notice how I changed up my patterns for this bow. This creates so much visual interest and is so pretty. Now the first one I had polka dots with the stripes. Now this one is a red and green polka dot. I also, as I layered the bows on my ultimate big bow, I mixed up my colors a bit. So my base was a red ribbon, and this one is a white ribbon. So I'm kind of flipping the pattern and the colors. Again, creating the same size loops and leaving the tails. I want the ability to trim my tails accordingly once I have my ornament all put together. So my next ribbon I'm going to use is a peppermint striped ribbon. This one has a little bit of a glittery texture. Making my loops the same way in the same size. 4 loops, 2 loops on each side, and I am using that craft wire to secure everything in the middle. I'm going to be layering all of these little bows on top of one another. To create one big, beautiful, fabulous bow. And that's number 3. Now I have a Christmas tree ribbon. Again, changing up the pattern. Notice I used a white background ribbon on this one. This little Christmas tree ribbon is so cute. It actually has little tiny glittery ornaments on it. So pretty for this piece. And again, the bows, same size loops. Cut your tails and secure with a piece of wire. And so that was layer number 4. Now for my last 2 ribbons, I actually just paired them up and looped them together. You can do that when you have these are very narrow ribbons. This one says Merry Christmas, and then that's the white iridescent that I'm pairing up with that. Now my loops are just a tiny bit smaller, but comparable to the other loops. And I'm going to do 4 loops. Now I'm not going to create a center loop for this bow as I normally do when I'm making a big bow with multiple ribbons. I'll show you how I'm going to finish off the center of this in just a minute. But I go ahead and secure that as I did the others with a little piece of wire. And don't forget to leave the tails. This bow is the real star of this ornament show here because it would just look so fabulous on a Christmas tree, but also just so beautiful in presentation if you're giving this as a gift. And I can't stress enough what a fabulous gift this would be. I often give ornaments as gifts, and they are so well and happily received. So I wrap the center. I'm going to be wrapping the center of this collection of bows with a piece of ribbon. Actually, it was the Merry Christmas ribbon, but I did wrap that the little bow that I just made with the 2 ribbons together. I did wrap the center of that, as you can see there, but I ended up in the end wrapping the whole bow collectively with all the ribbons together. I'll show you that in just a moment. Now I'm going to be stacking all of my bows. Now I keep in mind to vary up the patterns. You see how I put a bow with a white background on top of the bow with the red background. Now I'm mixing it up with a stripe. Now I'm pressing very firmly in the center, all of the centers of those bows. Now I have my Christmas tree bow. Do you see how fabulous this looks with all the patterns? And last but not least, I have my Merry Christmas ribbon there. Now I'm going to take a long piece of wire. I'm pressing very firmly with my thumb and my index finger. Align those bows up very well and very even. And in the back, I'm going to give that several really good twists to make sure it's nice and secure. And look at that. How beautiful is that? Now, you could do this ornament in other color schemes. You could do this in gold and white. You could do it silver and white. You could do it in royal blues or teals. You could mix it up any way that you like. But think about the possibilities of this ornament. And there you have this extremely beautiful bow. Okay, now I'm going to recommend that when you do this ornament, because that ornament, it's a very thin glass, so you don't want to be dropping it on the floor. I promise you, these will break very easily. I've done it. So I suggest that you get some kind of container that you can hold the ornament while you decorate it. Now I'm going to be putting on my little initial here, and these have a sticky back, which makes them absolutely perfect to place on this glass ornament. Now you want to place it right in the center, aligned with the cap. Be sure you get it straight, and be sure that you place just enough filler in the bottom that it doesn't interfere with the visualization of that monogram letter. Okay, so here we have that beautiful bow again. I'm going to show you a little something that I do when I create a bow like this. I take my pliers and I place them right down the center, and I squeeze it really, really tight because I don't want the center of my bow to be very bulky. So if I use the pliers, it helps a little bit to press that out. And here I am taking that little piece of ribbon, I mentioned this before, and wrapping it around all of those bow layers. And in the back, I just give it a little dab of hot glue and press that down. So this way it finishes off the center of that bow, but I'm also going to be doing a little something extra to finish off the center of that bow. But you could leave it just like that if you like it that way. No need for any additional embellishments. It's beautiful just like that. But I wanted to give this this bow a little extra something. This is a very classic Christmas color ornament. Like I said, you could change this up, and it may be if you're making ornaments for your coworkers, you could do each one differently and then put their initial on it. Or for family members. I think there's just something so special about making handmade ornaments as gifts, because each year that the recipient takes out that ornament, they're going to think of you. So I think that's very special. Now, I'm just going to be hot gluing this bow to the cap of my ornament. But I'm going to suggest that you also use a dab of Aleene's tacky glue. Sometimes when ornaments are stored in a hot attic, that might melt that hot glue. So if you have the tacky glue, next year when you take your ornament out, or the recipient of your gift takes it out, that will still be attached to the ornament cap. Now I align the center of my bow with my monogram letter. This ornament definitely has a front side, and that of course would be the side with the monogram letter. Now I align See how I align my center of my bow with my monogram letter. I have a D on my ornament. That's my initial. My name is Dwyn, by the way. I think I neglected to mention that. Sometimes I do. I'm going to be taking some little jingle bells. I believe I got those jingle bells at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to be using one jingle bell of a particular size, and I'm going to place it right in the center of that bow, and you'll see that in just a moment. Now, you're going to be taking some time to trim up all of your tails of your ribbons and arrange them in a fashion that's complementary to the ornament, and also a fashion that will not be covering up the monogram letter. It's very important not to cover that up. Now, I did angle the tails of all of my ribbons. You could dovetail them, but I think on tiny ribbons it's better to just angle them. But you do you. Now, I'm taking a jingle bell and I'm placing it right in the center of my bow. This is just an extra little embellishment. You can do it or not do it. I think it looks very cute myself, but notice how I arranged all of my tails so that they do not cover up that monogram letter. Now, if you have trouble getting your tails to behave, so to speak, you can always put a dab of glue and adhere them, a tail next to the tail next to it. Did that make sense at all? Oh my goodness. Just use your other tails to help control and place your tails if need be. I didn't find it necessary. I just pulled my tails to the side and just arranged them accordingly. Now, I'm taking 3 other little smaller jingle bells. So my center jingle bell is a little bit bigger, and I placed some smaller ones right next to it. So I created kind of a line of jingle bells. Also, another thing, be very careful not to drip glue strings on your glass ornament. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get that off. So be careful with your glue. And so here I have 4 jingle bells. The center one is a little bit bigger. Look how cute that is. I'm telling you, the versatility of this ornament, there is so much you could do with it. And I just think it's absolutely beautiful. Imagine this in a box suitable for the size of the ornaments, with the ornament hanger attached as a gift. They have suitable boxes at Dollar Tree. And here we have one last look. If you like what you see on my channel, I hope you will consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber already. Give this video a thumbs up and leave me your comments. Okay, until next time, you all take care.